40-kilometer stretch of water, and it stopped the entire world in a single night. Your job, your gas, your groceries, your economy, everything runs through this one place. And right now, that place is in Iran's hands. On the morning of February 28, 2026, America and Israel launched their biggest combined strike on Iran, called Operation Epic Fury. Within the very first day, Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei was killed. The entire leadership structure was destroyed, and Trump told reporters that they had practically finished everything: Navy, Air Force, radars, all of it.
I would say, to put it mildly, way ahead of schedule. We've knocked out their Navy, their military in all forms. We've knocked out just about everything there is, including their leadership.
Trump's plan was simple: take out the leadership, the regime collapses, Iran's oil falls into American hands, and the war ends within hours. The plan was so overconfident that nobody in the room asked one basic question: what if Iran shuts down the Strait of Hormuz? White House leaks later confirmed that Trump's National Security Council had dismissed this worst-case scenario as a secondary consideration. There was no backup plan at the Pentagon, no emergency strategy, just one assumption: Iran will break. On March 2, 2026, an IRGC senior commander delivered a single message to the world: the Strait of Hormuz is closed, and any ship that tries to pass will be set on fire. That same night, every tanker's automatic identification signal went dark. Traffic dropped to zero. Over 150 ships sat anchored outside Hormuz, millions of barrels of oil trapped inside, and the world left thirsty on the outside. That was the moment history changed direction. But the real question was, did America see this coming? Not even close. Before anything else, you need to understand why this 40-kilometer stretch of water is so powerful. Because this is not just an oil route. This is the backbone of the entire global economy. Every single day, 20% of the world's oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz, making this the largest supply disruption in recorded history. Gulf countries collectively slashed their oil production by 10 million barrels per day. Brent crude oil shot up from $70 to nearly $120 per barrel. Lines formed at gas stations. Airlines added fuel surcharges. Shipping companies began canceling routes worldwide. But it wasn't just oil. 1/3 of the world's agricultural fertilizer also moves through Hormuz. Urea prices jumped from $475 to $680 per metric ton, and the Midwest planting season for soy and corn was just beginning, with no fertilizer in sight. So after the gas pump, the grocery store was next. And this wasn't just America's problem. India, Japan, South Korea, and Europe were all shaking at the same time. Goldman Sachs warned that if Hormuz stayed closed for 1 month, the probability of a US recession would hit 25%. Oxford Economics said if oil reached $140 per barrel, Europe, the UK, and Japan would all tip into recession. Energy advisor Bob McNally put it plainly on CNBC: a prolonged closure of the Strait of Hormuz is a guaranteed global recession. And here's what makes it worse: Iran knew all of this. This was not a new weapon. This was a decades-old, carefully designed plan. They never hit it. They warned America over and over again. But America was so convinced that Iran would never go this far that nobody took the warning seriously. That one arrogant assumption changed everything. Now the world had one question: what was America going to do? Within just 14 days, a U.S. Air Force refueling aircraft crashed in Iraq, killing all 6 crew members on board. U.S. gas prices climbed to $3.63 per gallon, a 22-month high. In a single week, America lost billions of dollars worth of air defense radars. Ammunition stockpiles began running dry. And then the U.S. Navy publicly admitted it was not capable of providing safe passage for tankers through the Strait of Hormuz. Trump, in the same 24 hours, said the war is practically over, and then said, "We are more determined than ever for total victory." Iran's new supreme leader Mojtaba Khamenei made his position clear. U.S. military bases would continue to be attacked until they were shut down. Iran's parliament speaker posted one line on social media: "We do not want a ceasefire." And Iran's armed forces spokesperson called Trump, openly and publicly, the delusional president. Iran's President Pezeshkian then laid out his conditions for peace. America must pay reparations for all damages caused and provide firm international guarantees that Iran will never be attacked again. Those weren't conditions. That was humiliation delivered to the most powerful military on earth. Now think back to 1980. Saddam Hussein was convinced Iran would collapse within 2 weeks. 8 years and 1 million casualties later, he surrendered with nothing. not a single inch of Iranian land gained. In 600 years of history, Iran's borders have never moved. Not against the Romans, not against the Arabs, not against the British Empire, not against Russia. And in 2026, that same history is writing itself again. The most powerful military in the world, the biggest defense budget, the most advanced aircraft and weapons, and still, a 40-kilometer stretch of water is holding them back. This is not just a war between Iran and America. This is a war for the system that holds the entire global economy together. And that system right now is gasping. Your grocery bill, the gas in your car, your electricity bill, all of it runs through that one stretch of water, and that water is still closed.